How's everybody doing today? This is Beach Billy. I'm here again today with my daughter, Emmy Gray. She did such a wonderful job on the last video. Garmin actually sent her, she's wearing her Alpha 10 shirt. So I'm going to let her do most of the introducing to the Alpha 10 and setting it up. Being that she set up mine most of the time, she's the better person for the job anyways. So we're going to go right from the box, turning on, adding in. The only thing we will not go through on the first video is Garmin Explorer, which is a great tool with this, is where you can link with your phone. With time-wise, we're going to do that in the next video. So we'll actually have a Garmin Explorer, and that also links with your 550 Plus and Garmin Alpha 200. So I'm going to let you get started, Emmy.
All right. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to start off from the base, showing the Alpha 10 straight as you get it in the packaging. So you'll open it up, and you'll see your Garmin short range antenna. And of course, you can still use any of the other antennas that you could order off Outdoor Dog Supply. And as you're opening, here's your Alpha 10. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the packaging because we're actually going to be using this in the video. When you pull this off, you're going to see your Garmin belt swivel clip. I personally don't like this as much as some of the other options, but it is a good option.
You'll actually have to take the spline clip off on these in order to use the belt clip. And the spline clip is what mounts with everything else Garmin does. So typically, I would recommend leaving the spline clip. But if you do like the belt swivel clips, it is available in the box.
Yeah. You have a Garmin Carabiner clip, which you will be able to put right on the back of your Alpha 10 right here. You
it's
stick
like
it right
this here. Yep, mine's got it on there. Hooked to any belt clip, anything on your jacket. It's actually really, really nice to have.
And then you also get a charging cord, like every other. And then you get a extra screw and a tool to undo the back on the Alpha 10.
That's for the actual belt clip piece.
And then, of course, an instruction manual, because I know not everybody is too handy. All right, so that is it for the actual Garmin
You're going to learn way more in this video than you'll ever learn in that manual, I promise. Anybody that's gotten a Garmin product will learn that or already know that.
So I'm going to be starting off by showing you some of the basic features of the Alpha 10. On the side over here, you will see the power button, the training button, and down here, there's a little thing, and you can't see it, but there is a little
charging port, and the same port you would also hook to your computer to make any updates.
Yes.
And, changes to your handheld.
This is the main button you will use for scrolling and clicking on anything you will need, like any dog list or anything like that. And this is going to be your home button. So I'm going to go ahead and power the Alpha 10 on. On. Okay, now that we've made it to this screen, of course, we're going to click English, but all the different languages you could use are going to be right here. Time format, I'm going to choose 12 hours, so that's either military or standard time. And then now you're going to get a collar or whatever. You can choose a handheld, but right now I'm going to choose a collar. I'm going to go ahead and click on this menu button, which will take you to the home screen. Now I'm going to click Add Device, Dog, Pair Collar, and then I'm going to go ahead and pair the collar really quick.
She holds the power button down until you hear it double beep.
Yes.
And then you can let it go and wait a second, and it'll link to your handheld.
All right. Now, all of our collars are color coordinated, so we are going to just put purple.
We switch collars with different dogs a lot. It's easier for us to keep track of them. So we have a different color collar strap for each dog we do. And we have 13 different colors, I think, in here at Outdoor Dog Supply. Then we have 13 different reflective colors. And on top of that, we have, it's either 6 or 7 camo colors. So all of those are different colors you can put in to keep track of the different dogs.
So for us personally, we put no alerts for the type of hunting we do because we be getting alerts constantly. But if you do something special like bear hunting or anything like that,
your coon hunters are going to obviously want to set your collars in your unit on tree. Bird hunters are going to want to set it on point. Guys that run, you know, your rabbit hunters, your deer hunters, I mean, treat or point isn't going to work for either. Typically, we recommend turning all alerts off.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because we mostly deer hunt. All right. So I'm going to skip this for 1 second and come back. So first I'm going to go to device options, which did not work. So I'm going to click edit. You can choose to turn on your collar light. Same as any 200 or 100, you are able to change the ID with the collar on the handheld if there is any type of interference. You can change your update rate. You can update your share code, anything like you would on the regular 100 or 200.
Yep.
Dog type.
Dog type would be your point and treeing dogs.
Yes. Battery saver. If you have to leave a dog out, that is a very good option to put it on battery saver. Color, dark green. I'm going to change that for us to purple. And it seems like there is no specific purple, so I'm just going to put mine as dark magenta. I'm going to scroll back down. Collar, sleep mode.
Sleep mode is what you would want to put a dog in. All right, in the mini collars, the full-size collars will not allow you to do it. But in the mini collars, you can actually put a collar to sleep, which can get you a week or longer out of battery life. So when you hit that, and they do have it fixed in the 200 and this, to where if you put that mini collar to sleep, it puts it into basically, it no longer tracks GPS. It no longer sends a signal. It's just waiting for a signal to turn it back on. So literally you can get, if you have half battery left in a collar, it'll give you almost 2 weeks to get that dog back if you check on him daily to see if he's coming out. So that's a feature that has not been pushed because it did not work correctly in the 100. In the 200 now, and in this, the mini collars work wonderful.
Yes, they do. If you do need to change the name or anything like that, the name feature is right there to change. And then if you do want to remove the collar for any reason, if it's messing up or anything like that, you can go ahead and do that. All right. I'm going to let him take over for the tone and shock features because he's a bit more savvy on that.
Yep. Okay. All right. Just to start off with the tone and shock features. With different than the 200, this is small and limited to buttons. So typically you're going to, I leave all my dogs on tone because all of them are tone broke. But it is easy enough. So you're going to shift that over. It's going to put it into the training mode.
Yeah.
And then you've got vibrate or continuous. So if you click on continuous, you can then set whatever level. And once you preset it, it'll stay on those levels. So it's easy enough. It's not going to be as fast as the 200 or even the 100 as far as correcting. But once you have it set on a level, so say I leave it on a level 11 for a dog, it's what I need for a reaction. I leave it on tone. And then if I've got to, all I do is you can tone the collar, which y'all can hear. And then it's that fast to scroll down to continuous, click on it, and now the collar's correcting. So as far as correction, and then most of you guys that do know and have done any training, typically you're going to work with the dogs, or we try not to set all of them on 18, even though I know there's guys out there that do it, and their dogs probably do listen better than mine. But for those timid dogs or the dogs that are getting broke for the first time, we really recommend working with them and turning those levels up gradually.
So one of the newer features on the Alpha 10 and 200 is the send message feature. So you're going to go ahead and click on this button, which is to send message. Then you're going to enable transmission. All right, so here's some of the messages. I'm going to scroll through so you can see them. And we will be adding more basic messages in some of the future updates. So if you want to send a message, just send that. And if you do have any handheld connected to your Alpha 10, all will receive the message.
So you're able to talk to more than one handheld at a time with it. Yes. Especially for the guys that are going to use it with younger guys or guys that are going to hunt with these, the messages, and they are adding messages. It's one of the things that we're working with to make it go. So things like game down, things that are just immediate, come get me. That was one that's really needed. But most of the time you can make what's in there work. So
yes. So next we're going to show you how to add in a collar with a share code. So just for reference, to find the share codes, you're going to go click on the share button, and you'll see your track control code. You'll also have the option to share wirelessly and to view the legacy codes. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the main screen to add, and then I'm going to click add device, dog, enter share code, and then I'm going to click put in my share code.
Yep, and your share code is, go ahead and should do the track code.
Track code. All right, S362
H4.
All right.
Okay. As she was adding that, you notice she did a track code instead of a control code. Now, when you add a track code, she's only able to track this collar now, and we'll show you the difference. So, if you want somebody if you don't want somebody to be able to, correct your dog or make any changes to the collar, it's best just to give them the track code.
All right. I went ahead and put in the name.
Yep.
And
so the white collar's now entered.
Yes.
But if you notice, if we go to purple and scroll over, see how you have tone, vibrate, control, and momentary. Now that you go to white, it will not go anywhere. It will not let you make any changes to that collar. They can only track it.
Yes.
Okay, and let's show them the last way to add a collar in.
Okay.
We're going to use the Alpha 10 to show you. You can share with your 200, or you can still share with your 100. It's easy, but it's still going to be the same way. So go ahead.
All right, so you're going to click Add Device, and then Receive Shared Asset.
Yep, Receive Shared Asset.
And then you can see the Waiting to Receive screen.
Yep, and then I'm going to go to blue, and then on there you'll see down at the bottom it's going to be Share. I hit Share on that, and then Share Wirelessly. And I'm going to do Track and Control on that, or you can do Tracking only, but I'll do Track and Control on this device. And so mine says Sending blue, and hers says Waiting to Receive.
All right, so we got it. This one conflicts with the handheld ID. We're going to stop transmitting, and then we're going to put name. This was blue collar.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and put blue. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the full name for this one. All right, and then blue is added.
Okay. And you'll notice because we added, again, you'll see that the training keys are in this. I added control and train, which means now she will have control of that collar in there. So it really, you track only, it's only going to track the dog. If you do the control code, it's going to train and track.
All right, and the last thing for adding device, I'm going to show how to add a contact, which is another handheld. So you're going to go ahead.
And you enter the transmission ID, and that can be found on either your 200 shows you a transmission ID, or in these handhelds, it shows you the same.
And the ID for this handheld is 33, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in. All right, and then I'm going to put the name of the handheld Billy, because the handheld we're using is mine.
Where did you inherit that handheld?
All right, perfect. And now, if you see, will you send me a message so I can show how it looks when we receive a message?
Of course. Oh, you're going to make me send I don't have you in my box yet.
Oh, yes. Good.
We would have to add. So that shows you. Then in return, what y'all would do is I would turn and add her into my box.
If you see, I'll click Send Message, Enable, Change ID. Yes, I'll change mine to 32 or 34. That's fine. And then I'll go ahead and say I'm coming. It's sending the message, and then it will pop up. It would
pop up on this handheld. Yep. It's that easy to send a message. Anybody that's in there would receive it.
All right, some of the other basic features on the home screen, you can start a hunt.
Starting a new hunt will clear all your old tracks, and basically you're starting from scratch again. Yes. The 200's had it, the 100. It's just a great way of clearing all of your old dog tracks, and you're ready to go again. It'll keep your collars and everything in there.
And this feature will be probably very much used with the Garmin Explorer app. All right, you can also mark truck, which is another feature that was in all the other handhelds. And then if you go to setup, you'll see you have your alerts, which is, again, all your messages on tread, on point, anything like that. Your messages for your other handhelds, and GPS loss, all that stuff you can get sent to messages. You can get alerts for it or anything like that. I have all mine set to messages only. The less sound I can make in the woods, the better normally. Transmission ID, again, if you do need to change your ID, you will be able to do that.
That will be where the collars interfere with you, so you wouldn't be able to track a collar and have the same ID. Yeah. So typically it's easy enough to get all your collars put in, or get whatever you're linked with. If you're, doing it with a buddy, or it's all of your collars, once you get all the collars in, then change your transmission so it doesn't affect those. And then you'll be able to talk back and forth with the other handhelds.
And then there's update rates. I normally stick ours on 2.5 because I like that better. Unless you are going to have a dog out for longer and you want to change it to a longer time.
We're running and training and running puppies. Typically 2.5 is wonderful. I use the mini collars myself when I'm deer hunting them, or especially if I think there's a place that I might possibly have to leave one out. I typically run them on 5 seconds because you're not going to get in front of the dog any faster like that. 5 seconds is good for me. 10 seconds, 30 seconds, those are really more battery savers. You're not, it's not as real life tracking if you're only tracking the dog every 30 seconds. And then you really find that if it misses a connection or two in that, then it's even a further time to track the dog. You're going to see it in bigger spurts. So we normally recommend, if you're hunting them, 2.5 to 5 seconds, either one of those is adequate.
Next is remote view, which is for if you have any watches that you, or drive tracks that would you like to connect.
Turn on, yep, and that's a good point right there. This works wonderful with the Phoenix. I actually have the Phoenix is great. It's got a topo map in it. It does show your dogs. Truthfully, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting half blind in my older age, and I can't see enough on this watch to use it like that. A lot of people that you still see, you can actually download Bird's Eye in this watch if you want to. You just have to do a subscription. But what I do use it for is the drive track. That's your in-vehicle device. For those of you that have it and do any truck hunting at all, you know that it's almost a necessity. You've got to have. Now going into that, the 200 and this now also work on your phone, and it will work in your tablet with the Explorer app. That's an app that they're working really hard. It's already really nice, but I think you're going to find it's going to get a whole lot nicer here soon.
Yeah.
So you won't have the cost of a drive track, and you'll be able to use your tablets and phones to be able to get Bird's Eye in that.
So any device with any type of app store that has any of the Garmin apps, you will be able to download and use the Explorer app.
The Calibrate Compass, guys, we know that's been in all the units up till now. Honestly, Garmin has gotten way better with time. The units self-calibrate so much better than what the original, the little 220. You'd watch guys out there doing circles and doing that, trying to calibrate the compass, where now it does calibrate itself with the GPS. So unless you stand in one spot all the time, you're going to find your compass is very calibrated.
Yes. And then systems is just going to be
that's going to get you to all of your other things. So if your units, that's one that we get a call on a lot.
So if you want to change it to
statute, is your yards and your feet and your miles, or you can do it metric if that's what you're used to.
Time format, again, if you would rather switch yours to military time or have it standard time, that's what time format is. Screen capture,
we keep it off. That's going to actually capture your screen on that, which really, I think that's pointless in this little unit.
Yes. And then restore defaults.
Yep. Factory reset. No. Restore defaults is going to go in and make your screens like it came originally. Factory reset is actually resetting everything in that box like she just pulled it out there. So if you don't want everything erased, do not go back to your factory reset. Just restore defaults.
It will just give you some basic ID numbers.
If you ever have to call into Garmin, that's where we have to go. That's going to tell you what update you're on. It gives your serial number. That's just all internal information.
Yeah. And that is about it for settings.
All right, guys, we switched handhelds here real quick. This is the actual handheld I've used, and this is one we've had for quite some time. I've got all my collars already entered in it. I've got a lot more than these 5 collars that are over here on the side on, as you'll see as we're scrolling through there. But this is a good example of what you would do to correct your dogs or tone them. So as you can see, so right now I'm going to have it on dark green. That's the first collar. I can tone him. If you had to correct, you would come over and obviously change to vibrate, continuous, or if you wanted to do the momentary. Truthfully, continuous, you can normally bump one time and make it about like momentary. I only use the continuous in the tone, and then I do have a couple of dogs that I use vibrate on, but typically I leave everything on tone unless I have to change. So you just scroll right back to that, and then you're going to go to reflect the, let's see, so my next would be orange. So as you can see, same thing, orange color. If you had to correct, you would go over. And then, so on. Same thing, blue is the next one over there. tone. If you had to correct, you would go down and all you do is click the continuous, and then whatever level it's on, it's going to automatically be there. And you can see that's one good dog. I have not had to correct yet. So as you can see, it's a little slower than the 200 or the 100. Once you get used to it, though, it's very, very doable. Same thing, white collar, ready to go. If you had to correct, you would do the same. Just kick right over into the training modes and move it to wherever you need. So it's like I said, I've been using this. We run in the pen a lot. We actually have a little training reserve. We do a lot of the testing the equipment in. And I can tell you, I've actually gotten to where this is normally all I take. I do love it. It's very simple. It's small. You always have it on your side. And I've kind of gotten used to, you can pull your phone out and glance at it and see where everything is with it. So we'll be going over, like I said, there's a lot of settings. You have to get that app right. There was something they're working very hard on, but y'all get to see that soon. So yeah. This is Outdoor Dog Supply. This is bringing you the Alpha 10 setup. Remember, we warranty all the products we sell. We're here to service. We've got everybody here is very familiar with the products. Everybody in there uses them. So that's another reason. If you do have issues or questions after you buy it from us, feel free to call. Thank you very much.
Any questions and concerns, you can comment on the YouTube video or send us an email at admin@outdoordogsupply.com.
Thank you very much. All right, guys.